took before the first gen even pops.
Make you wanna know my name.
Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.
Welcome back to Vigo's Court, everybody. I am your Judge Little Rugar, and with me today is Judge Tide, as well as the ever wonderful Counselor Poggy doing commentary for us. How are you doing, Judge Tide?
Doing good. Early day today. Plenty of coffee. Love you very much, mug. It's good stuff.
I don't actually know what this character's called from Peanuts, but...
Now that you say that, I've never known what that bird's name is.
Frank, seriously, what is this? I don't even. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Poggy, what do we got on the docket today, my good sir? All right, today in Week 4 Conference Rivals, we have home team Siphon versus Flops. And we are going to be playing on the Colt Tower. With 132 square tiles, 8,448 square meters, 6 hooks minimum, 11 hooks max with that one permagen in the top of the building. And I know what you're thinking. Why is it Colt Tower? Well, unfortunately, we have a couple maps that have been locked out of the game due to bugs, per se. I believe, the Crotus Pren and Auto Haven maps have been locked out due to collision issues, I believe was what it's called. Is that correct?
Collision on Crotus Pren and Fun Bus gets stuck. People get stuck playing killer on Fun Bus on the Auto Haven maps.
Yep, that sounds about right. I haven't got Fun Bust myself, luckily, and I feel bad for anyone that ever did. It's not a fun time. Definitely not a fun bus, you might even say, unless you're a survivor. And it looks like we've got Huntress here. We're waiting for invites from, I assume, Siphon, because they will be killing first today. Do we have a stat page for both of these guys? I'm curious. I haven't actually seen the stats for these teams yet. All right. And pretty even average score and hook differential, but man, that escape and gen percentage is starkly different. Wait, how is it reversed? Are you seeing this?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing.
The escape percentage is through the roof on Siphon, but their gens are 50%. How is this?
Is that even possible?
And the escape ratio is down for Flops, but their gens are almost always done. Oh, that's funky.
That makes sense, though. If your gens are done, you can die before you get out. But I don't understand how you're getting out at such a high rate unless it's not based on I don't know. That would take. I'll have to deep dive into those to understand that. That doesn't sound possible, though.
That maybe they get a lot of hatches. Maybe it's
I can provide a little insight. Poggy here.
Okay.
Can they bring keys?
The guy who wrote all these scripts for this. So essentially, how it works is it takes a running average. So what you're seeing is an average overall from each match to each match. So it's basically the most recent games are the most important and get weighted higher than the older games. And so what you're probably seeing is they escaped a lot to start with, and then maybe had a bad game and their gen percentage dropped down quite a bit. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you exactly what happened, but I can tell you it's accurate. I can tell you that.
Actually,
oh,
here's what actually happened. Last week, the game was canceled, and we still have to do the scorecards. But the way that we balance that and we score it is they automatically escape or they automatically 4K. So technically, they have a match with 8 escapes total, but 0 gens done.
Oh, that's weird.
Why that looks so wonky.
Okay, fair.
I didn't even consider how that was going to look on the stats. I was just, that's the solution to make sure it gets logged in the
That's a
system.
very good point. Thank you, Sam. That actually
And that would
explains a lot.
also that would also crush that BP percentage because their blood point percentage is half of that of flops. Yeah, that would definitely affect the blood point percentage too. Okay, so Siphon's a bit skewed. So yeah, because I say we played Siphon. I've played against Siphon. Siphon's a very good team. I imagine it's going to be a close matchup today. So, still no invite? Bummer.
Look, last time I put Deity on my I trust them list, and they dropped the ball.
You could
And
say
I
they
can't
let
trust
you down.
Well, I would hope that they would have never given me up, but hey, you know what? Nobody meant to hurt me.
No. Well, you know what? It's actually getting really, really warm in here. I'm gonna take off my jacket and. Oh,
You actually went for it.
When you look at that, guys. Did you guys know that we have merch at vigoscourt.tv/merch? I'm sorry, I went over this bit with them behind the scenes, and they didn't think I'd actually go for it. But
No,
I'm
I
doing
didn't
it.
think you would. And while I'm drinking coffee, could have waited till I put it down. Freaking nearly.
I
inhaled.
have no shame. But yes, I wasn't kidding when I bought a shirt to support my team. You all should also support your team. We got merch, shirts, and stickers. Pick them up. Support your team. Support the court. Do it. I did it. You can do it. I know you can. Anyway. I had to. I'm sorry. I had to. So, I didn't know until literally 20 minutes ago that they actually locked the maps out of the game. Did you know this, Tide?
Nope, because I was playing on those maps yesterday.
Exactly. Yeah, I was playing on the maps too yesterday. I didn't realize they locked them out of the game. That must have been something today.
Yeah, probably overnight. There
Yeah,
was
it at
a
11
tweet.
o'clock today.
There was a tweet that went out. They're going to be reverting a lot of the changes.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm glad that they're listening. I love the fact that they tweeted like, "Hey, we listened to you guys. We're going to be, setting back and going over some UI." And then the top tweet, which was a retweet of theirs and a reply, had more likes than that tweet was from Puppers saying, this all could have been avoided if you'd actually listened to us a month before because it's the same stuff we're saying now. Like, But
Like I said, it's all corporate. It's a
Yep.
corporate thing, corporate move, corporate talk. I don't know who runs that Twitter anymore, but pray they get through this.
yeah, I'm hoping they'll pull through. I just hope it's a learning experience. I hope they take this and they learn from it. Ooh, we got a lobby. Sweet action. Who is that on Killer? Is that Complex? Ooh, okay, bet. I have only seen them play twice now, but they have not ceased to impress me. And we got who we got? We got.
Do they play Blight?
That's a very good question. I don't think
I'm ready to be shown what Blight's like. I have been prepped to see something amazing shock me. And that's what I want to see today.
That's what you want to see. Fair enough.
Poggy, can you move to Killer real quick?
So we've got. What are these? What are this? How do you say this first name? Lalusen?
Lusty.
Oh, I was going.
Oh
for
no, the
left.
bottom person, Lalusen. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was
Lalusen.
reading
Okay.
off the list.
So we got Heavenly Torture, Lusty, and Lalusen. All right. And that'll be a Survivor Squad for flops. That's a pretty baller squad right there. That's a heroin team, I would say.
Who's the person on the left? Is that Nia? I can't tell.
Yes,
if
that is Nia. Yes,
Gosh, these cosmetics make characters look so different.
they really do. Actually, speaking of cosmetics, the new Deathslinger cosmetic that was leaked is 100% my favorite of them for so far, because I have not liked any of the Deathslinger cosmetics, but this new one looks sick.
I had to look into it. I only saw talk about the new Demogorgon cosmetic.
Oh,
which
geez.
has
Monkatos.
that was wow. I thought people were joking, like,
Right?
because everyone makes fun of the Wax Warlock for Wraith, but that one's not like too bad. I mean, it does look like a candle's on his head at least, and it's lit. But then you look at Demogorgon, and you're like, oh,
Ugh. Yep.
I've seen enough adult entertainment to know where that's going.
I have seen enough hentai to know what this. Yeah, exactly. Oh goodness, just It's amazing with the range that they can have on cosmetics. But again, I had the Deathslinger outfit described to me as a devil's onesie, and I was not disappointed. It was pretty great. Whenever I log on next, I'm 100% buying that one. I am excited for this. And that's the thing, like, it's so sad. They have so many great cosmetics. I wish their game just reflected the quality of the cosmetics. Because, man, they've got some just absolutely beautiful cosmetics. What's your favorite? I actually never got this. What's your favorite cosmetic in the game?
Wax Warlock.
Wax Warlock? Okay. Fair enough.
It's one of the few that I really like, but the problem is the weapon with Wax Warlock's garbage. So then you have to go to a different one. I forgot what the name of it is, but it gives him a sword instead of a mace. And then so you put that on Wax Warlock, and then you got this cool cloaked warlocky guy with the sacrificial blade, and it's just like nice. Now there is also a good trapper cosmetic combo that you can go with, but you had to have downloaded Death Garden back in its heyday. You get the Death Garden mask on him, give him his little ironworks, and like what is it, an apron, and then you give him his scorching blade. Very nice.
Okay, you mix and match. I can get behind that. I'm basic. I just like Krampus.
Krampus is okay, but you gotta spend auric cells on it. I'm not about auric cells.
I'm desperate though.
Okay.
I'm trying to get, because the new elephant, or not the new one, the elephant cosmetic for Clown can only be bought with iridescent shards. So I'm currently in the process of setting up for that one.
I hate that one so much.
Is it just because it's obnoxious, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't take that. Like, I don't hate it, but when I look at Clown, you know, I want to see a clown, not Five Nights at Freddy's mascot.
Oh, I thought that was Legion Bunny. I thought Legion Bunny was the Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, see, the problem is the Legion Bunny actually has some lore within Silent Hill, so that one kind of makes sense for me. It's the Silent Hill bunny from The Room, I believe.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't know. I've never played Silent Hill. I know I'm uncultured.
There's a creepy bunny mascot guy when you look through the hole, and he's doing creepy things, and it's like, then they gave Legion 4 different colors of him, and it's like, but why?
I don't know. I'm just surprised you can't mix and match a bunny head with something. I'd want to mix and match a bunny head. Be normal and just have this random thing.
Bunny.
Yeah. I mean, they made the cosmetics for survivors switchable and glitching. Why can't we do it for killers?
I think it is glitchy for killers. You can
it is? I've never been able to do it.
I think someone was telling me you could definitely do it with a killer headpiece.
All right, we can. Oh, we ready to go. Roll the rules video.
Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, today is Siphon Conference Rivals versus Flops, and I don't know if we're actually loaded in yet. Yeah, I kicked us back out to the lobby.
What would you do with a broken lobby? What would you do with a broken lobby? What would you do in a broken lobby during our tournament? Sea shanties are the thing today.
You were ready for that one.
I wasn't. It just got in. Like, I mean, sometimes you just got to sing a sea shanty to get yourself going while you wait for your broken lobby.
Right? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I guess while we wait for this game to load in for a second time. So we were talking about cosmetics. Is there? Let's see. Is there any other new cosmetics besides the devil onesie? I'm trying to remember. None of the we did the Demogorgon. And what's it called again? It's like, what is the new Demogorgon called? What did they even call that? You guys didn't hear what? We're getting trolled from behind the scenes.
It's like it's like Future Life or something like that. It's
Something.
Unleash. I don't know.
Oh goodness!
It
All
doesn't
right, well, we
matter
should
what
be
I said,
loading in
guys.
soon.
Poggy's here. Poggy's going to be doing some commentary with Tide. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, yeah, this is Siphon versus FPS, guys. Thank you so much for waiting, for your patience while we got through these technical issues, and we're about to be in the game right now. Hope you're having a great day. I am. This is a fantastic. What day is it? Thursday. Wednesday. I don't know what day it is. Oh boy, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves some people, some players. Let's take a look at what we have going. First thing I see is a spirit.
Indeed.
I mean,
Wait, what? Is that a psi weapon?
I think, was it? I have to look at it
looked
again. I
like
actually
it.
didn't notice. Let me look at that one more time once we switch back to Nia, who is currently in chase around one of the jungle gyms and doing really good, actually, getting away from Spirit. Possibly running Iron Will, because I don't hear her crying. Nice dead hard, though. Very nice. Used it for distance, got to the window just in time. Very well done. And then gets to another safe place and gets abandoned. The killer does not continue that chase.
Killer's likely running a ruin.
Very, very likely.
Trying to get trying to get Survivor off the generator to get some value there. But if the Nia returned to that generator, kind of cancels it out. Second spirit game
And-
of. Go on.
I didn't know what she was doing. All right, she was phasing, and then she did kind of find Kate, but then got a little bit out of place, not quite able to catch up to her immediately. And a Styptic agent play by the Kate. I think Spirit caught it and is waiting it out. She does take the hit at the window
Didn't
and
play
does
out,
give her the
was
Styptic play. Yeah, we're not able to do it, unfortunately. She was trying to wait it out, though, and that was really good. Does get around the corner. Very nice play by the Spirit around the jungle gym. I think this is a TNL loop she's at, too. Survivors are working on generators. We got one generator completed already. Going for a basement hook, I think. And again, Spirit is one of those killers that just for some reason never has hair when we spectate. I don't know what the dealio is with that.
I thought I saw her with hair like moments ago.
It comes and goes.
She just like dropped her
it's
wig midway.
It's really weird. So I know you like Spirit, Ty, because you were talking about it yesterday a lot. Like, why didn't you bring Spirit? And I'm wondering, like, if you have any thoughts on what you've seen so far.
Spirit's playing generally how I would expect. Survivor's making a lot of risky plays going for the totems. Not exactly sure what the Survivor's play with this is, because again, like Spirit likely phasing here and then looking for her while she's injured. Should be a free down on her part unless Spirit for some reason just let her go or lost her. Oh, let her go chasing somebody else. She went back to the
Yeah,
back to
and I know you
shack.
can't hear the game, so I will just tell you, I'm pretty sure Iron Will again on the, whoever that was, the nurse girl, because I couldn't hear her. So she has Iron Will, this one.
So if she has Iron Will, part of the counterplay with that is to run Strider, which is why Spirits run Strider in the first place, at least in, the more casual area. You use Strider because it does the same effect as Iron Will. It makes it equal when you're running, so it's as if they weren't running Iron Will. And then for the people who are not running Iron Will, are a far easier target for you.
And we do see the Spirit kind of lining up for the chase around this majorly rocky area, going for this jungle gym, and then she gets abandoned again. So I guess Spirit's just having trouble committing right now. These survivors are giving her a run for her money for sure. Only having one hook so far with 2 gens completed. Survivors are a little bit ahead.
I don't know if Spirit's trying to capitalize on Ruin and trying really hard, but there are 4 survivors in play. And actually, she's definitely not getting the value she should be, but as you can see, she's trying to chase them off the generators. It's just not working the way it should, because every time she chases them off, they go right back. And this is probably one of the best examples I've ever made when it comes to you can only chase one person at a time. She needs to commit and start downing people, at least get the slug going,
Yes.
or else she's never going to be able to slow these generators down.
Absolutely, but it's worth pointing out these survivors got ruined down really fast, actually. So it's actually been down, I think, since the last gen. Because I just noticed when you were talking about that generator was not regressing when they left it, so its ruin's gone for sure. She might actually get this hit there on Nia, maybe. Ooh! Oh God, Nia, no! Oh no! She almost got away. I thought she was going to go for the window, but then she went straight through the door, and that was just unfortunate. And maybe another basement hook? No, skipping basement, going for the... Ooh, this is a tough hook right here. It's pretty easy to defend this hook, IMO. Unless you have balanced landing, and then it can be a little trickier.
I think one of the issues with that hook, though, is though she can defend people going towards it, herself getting up there, she has to go around.
That's
so
true.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of mind game to play there, and it's rough. I think basement's the better play in terms of
I would
it's
agree,
one path in, one path out.
Mm-hmm. Basement probably would have been the better choice. She had the choice. She went for the pedestal hook, I guess you can call it, and unfortunately, may not work out for her. We'll see how she plays it. If she defends it at all. Maybe she didn't intend to defend it, so she didn't want to go for the long play in basement. That could be it, too. Now, chasing Kate around this jungle gym, going for no mind game there. I thought she might have gone for a mind game.
She's got a double
gonna drop
pallet
this pallet
set up
early?
right here.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Very nice pallet stun as well.
With that double
And
pallet, it's
all
almost
5
safe,
gens
and
done.
the exits are done. So this is
Wow.
what I mean by, in terms of running Ruin, you could have ran something else to help you during all these chases. You weren't securing any of the downs. You didn't slow the game
Yep.
down any. And it's definitely going to fall apart from here on out.
Yeah, she really just struggled a big time. And then Hex Ruin Undying went down so fast that she wasn't really able to capitalize on it anyway. She does get it down on Nia, though, right at the exit gate. May be able to get her up and to a hook, which is at least a kill at a minimum, unless they get the unhook. Oh, but a DS! She was just unhooked, wasn't she?
D-strike.
Oh, unfortunate. 50-50 chance, and it was her.
Ladies and gentlemen, let this be the perfect example why you never tunnel as killer. Because clearly she was tunneling, focused at
Obviously.
porting it down, man. Oh, it was a rough life for her.
Wow. Well, these survivors definitely gave her a tough time, but the scores, the BP points, obviously are not quite that far off, surprisingly. I thought they would have been a little further apart. But maybe just because of the couple hooks that she did get, she was able to get some BP. But anyway, her build was Hex Ruin, Crypt Intervention, Hex Undying, and Pop Goes the Weasel. I'm going to let you guys do a little back and forth on what you think of that build.
I've been seeing this build pop up for almost every game we've commentated so far, and I have seen it fail every time so far. So I'm starting to wonder, is this really the competitive build? And maybe people need to start branching out. Obviously, Ruin, it's like the value on Ruin isn't going to be there unless the survivors let it happen. You're only going to get the regression if the survivors let go, and you have to keep them off. The gens regress at about half the speed that the survivors, can progress. So you have to keep them off for twice the amount of time that they were on it to get it to zero. And depends on how long if you caught them on it, like as they were just starting it, yeah, you're going to regress it just a little bit. Like a couple seconds isn't going to be the biggest deal. You need to be able to down people. You need to be able to get the hooks. And if you don't, well, this is your result. So here's your competition. Right. So it's going to be the person who can close these chases out versus the person who thinks that slowing the game down a little bit is going to help.
And that is a very excellent point. And with that in mind, we're going to do a post-game review, come right back and look at some highlights while we wait for the next game, and be right back. Hold your hats. Hold on to your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Week 4 matchups with conference rivals Siphon versus Flops. And a tough opening match for this killer. A great opening match for Flops, though. And let's take a look at that post-game review. This is what you just witnessed. Trial number 1, we saw 5 generators getting done with how many escapes? Yeah, all 4 of them. All 4 people got out, unfortunately. It was very close. to maybe getting one extra hook, but only unfortunately 2 hooks for the killer with no kills. So sadly, this is the result of the first game, but they could still come back from it. It is not a lost game for these guys. Let's see how they do. 5-28 in favor of Flops going into trial number 2. Flops leading at the moment, and we'll see how they do in the next game as Siphon will be surviving and Flops will be killing. Guys, here are the highlights. Take it over. Let us know what you think.
So one thing I will say, oh, sorry. One thing I will say that I was surprised at is the Spirit was not running the Yakuyoka amulet, which is arguably, I think, the single best add-on for Spirit. And I don't understand that personally. I don't know. I don't even know what it was that they took in place of it. It was a green add-on. The shoes, I understand. I don't know what that other add-on is. I'm going to go look it up. But I don't know why they didn't bring the Yakuyoka amulet. I think that was wrong.
It might have been, but I wouldn't think that one add-on's going to drastically change the outcome here. See, the perk setup here on how everything worked out was that she wasn't downing people frequently enough. That's going to always be the problem. If you're trying to slow down the generators, you have to equally snowball. It's how this game works. If a survivor is down, less generators are being worked on because resources have to be applied elsewhere to make saves, to make heals, and to get off those generators. These kind of regression builds, they work if you're focused in them, but especially in this game, you don't get the downs to get your Pop Goes the Weasel. If your Ruin ever goes down, you're down a whole perk, and overall, it's like you really can't even see the value of what you're getting out of this, if any at all.
So the one thing I will say is that, so the way that Spirit I've seen usually applies pressure using Ruin and whatnot is phasing and, cat and mousing between the gens and such. But the Yakuyoka amulet has an unintended effect where it increases the recharge time for the moment. Unless they fix that. I don't know if they fixed that yet, but it increases your recharge so you get more of your ability. So it might have helped them a little bit in the cat and mouse, but no, I agree 100%. They weren't committing to a chase long enough to get it down. And that was, I don't know if that's because they weren't, maybe they targeted the people with Iron Will too much. I don't know. Was it the person? No, because that Kate didn't have Iron Will. And they were in chase with that Kate for quite a bit. So I don't know. Maybe they're just not, maybe they don't play Spirit that much. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. One of the big things is when you have an injured survivor, once you use your power, it should guarantee that down. If they're running Iron Will, the best counter for that is Strider. And it's not in the Spirit's build. And it's if Iron Will maintains a very hard counter for Spirit, maybe you should be using the perks to cover your weaknesses instead of generalizing it for regression.
True. But also, to a degree, too, there's a lot of foliage in these jungle gyms, which you can see the survivor run through. I'm surprised that didn't help them out either. I don't know. Yeah, they did not capitalize on these chases at all. They had a first good chase, and I was expecting a down, and that down didn't come, and they ended up having to go after someone else.
So right here, for example, when chasing someone with the endurance effect, if you don't think you're going to be able to get the hit to down them, just proc the endurance early because you can recover and get the chase. But she got the down anyways, but she extended the chase up to the window. But she got the down. That was her first down for the game. And so that asks the question, is Ruin still up at that time? Are you able to get your Pop Goes the Weasel? And if not, why'd you run? It's the question of these builds and how they're, I don't see them synergizing. I've been watching these games for the last day and I just don't see it happening.
Fair enough. And I do believe we are...
Oh, there's one.
There's one what?
Pop Goes the Weasel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw there was one pop, but yeah, they didn't get nearly as much. They didn't hardly get any hooks to get any value out of it. So, all right, so we've got Heavenly on Killer this time. Okay, we got how do you say his name? Is it Copilized? Copilised? Is it Copilised? I don't know. I don't know. Cop. Okay. And we got I Complex, O Spider-Man, and Pain 05. That is a metal name if I've ever seen one, personally. And yeah. I don't. Have we seen Heavenly Kill before? I want to say yes, but I don't remember off the top of my head. And we are loading in. Well, while we are loading in, let's go ahead and roll the rules video.
All right, everyone, we're going to be looking at how the game works from the killer side. Now, killer points. Each survivor is worth a total of 6 points per survivor. First hook is 1 point, second is 2, and third is 3 points. Progressing is only 1 point. Killer bonus points. Every 5,000 blood points is 1 point. Getting to hatch first is also 1 point. A killer can only be used a total of 3 times in the season. Killers have a 150 millisecond ping limit. Also, should a reset occur, the killer and perks must remain the same. Bringing the wrong map is a forced reset, and minus 10 points. Bringing a killer a 4th time is 10 points off, and changing a build after is also 10 points. Not being on the roster is a 5 point and a reset. Okay, folks, guess what? This is Boggy. We're watching week 4 matchup Conference Rivals Siphon versus Flops. I love their name. It's really such a cute name. We're loading in. We're almost fully loaded in. It's not quite as fast as the other one because the other guys I think were mostly PC players, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to be switching in just a moment to the game, but I don't want you all to look at a boring loading screen, so we'll just sit here for a second. Anyway, so far it's been a really interesting matchup because the Spirit really struggled. However, Siphon's Survivor team isn't very bad, so maybe they can pull out ahead of Flop's killer. Let's see how they do. And yeah, we're loaded in now for sure. This time we have Blight. Tide? I kind of want to hear your thoughts on seeing a Blight.
Well, let's see. I'm waiting to be impressed. Spirit didn't impress me, and this Blight better do better. And I hope his build is also the exact same regression build. We better see some Pop Goes the Weasel and Generator regression.
I mean, he does get an early hit on Nancy. Very nice play. But like you said yesterday, I mean, just the return on Blight is not as good as the skill you need to play with him. But I mean, he's doing pretty well. Got a nice early down with Lethal Rush, and the survivors are only just now starting on gens, really. So that'll be a
So why did she run out into the open?
That I wouldn't be able to explain. That I can't tell you. But I can tell you that he got an early down.
He definitely did.
You have a good point. And Fang also taking a nice early hit as well. Pain 05 is feeling it. And Blight is possibly using Pop Goes the Weasel to regress that generator. Could be Pop. Might not be. We don't know. I'll never tell.
I'm just
and wow, look at him whizzing by. Holy crap. Fang going down quickly again right here at the TNL wall. That's going to be a second hook now for Blight. Very well done. Already an improvement from the last game from the other killer on the other team. Are you impressed now, Tide?
I'm confused why they're standing around, like the Kate standing around, and she just watched him run by and then she was like, deer in headlights. It
might be like, they haven't done a lot of Blight games, maybe.
It's possible, but like they still got this, I think. It's only 2 hooks. Maybe they'll come back. If not,
no gens,
as
though.
Blight is performing. See, he shouldn't be able to make this. If he gets it hit, there you go. There's the issue you can already see with Blight right there. And he ran in a straight line. Why?
Yeah.
Straight lines are bad, friends. This is competitive. So he's gonna go around. Don't straight line it. Don't straight line it.
That is a major
it's so
issue.
Easy.
I see that a lot against Blight and Billy. Actually, I've seen it too.
I love this ace. He didn't run in a straight line. He turned every corner and instantly negated all 5 of those little. It's just you gotta stay against a wall. Turn the corner when he bumps into something. He ain't turning that corner with you. He ain't no hillbilly. He's
your
a
offense is
runner.
beautiful. I love it. And oh wow, nice mind game there by the Blight. Is he gonna get it though? No. Kate does a nice juke going around the other way. They might be kind of waking up. Tries to use the box to get hidden, but doesn't really work. And he does land the hit anyway. Not a very smart play by Kate. She's gonna go down before the pallet. Wow, not even able to get to the pallet for safety. Unlucky. Oh wow.
I can't watch this anymore. I'm closing my eyes. Tell me when it's over.
Yeah, I think maybe they're just not experienced with Blight. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I mean, they're struggling. They got 1 generator done so far. I haven't seen any totems going down, but I think maybe he doesn't have a totem build, perhaps.
Which
and now
is
back in the chase
smart.
of Ace. It is. I mean, we've seen a lot of totem builds just completely fail because they're gone in the first, 20, 30, 40 seconds of the game. And now not doing that, but he runs in a straight line again.
Why the straight line? Why?
Don't do this. Why the straight lines? Seriously. I think maybe he was hopeful he could get to the pallet in time. Maybe that's what it was, but it was just not a great call, I think, to do that, unfortunately. So he does take a second hook for his team. Everybody injured. They're not bothering to reset. They're trying to make up time for these generators being way behind now. If they get another one done, it'll bring it to 2 gens with a total of 4 hooks so far. And he does get it down, though, on Fang as well, right at the generator. She didn't really get very far.
She's not going to. She's in a really open area with a lot of trees for the Blight to take advantage of right there. So unfortunately for her, it doesn't matter what she hides behind. She's likely to get hit. But definitely with all these corners in the buildings, you got to take advantage of it. Stop running in a straight line. Even if there's a pallet there, once his power's active, straight lines become your worst enemy. And he cannot curve that much, but he can curve enough to hit around a box. So vault that window, get behind some cover, and stop running in a straight line. That's all I got for Blight.
Yeah, I have to think Kate was thinking that she could use the box for cover, but I mean, like you said, he could just swing right through that. It's not very far on the turn to be able to hit that. Heck, I think even Billy could hit that without getting his ability messed up. But anyway, he lines back up with Ace around the TNL loop, tries to bait him to go the other direction. It doesn't really work, and he gets hit straight there, and then it runs toward the Killer Shack. Not going to drop the pallet early. I think maybe Blight has switched targets. No, he just took a minute to get over here. He's just slow. That's what it is. So Blight does get the pallet down early. Nice out-of-the-way pallet. 2 gens remaining. Sitting here at the TNL loop and is going to go down, unfortunately. Not able to
That was a hot clip around that corner. He didn't go in a straight line, but he didn't make it past that corner fast enough.
Right.
Definitely got to hurry.
It was close. It was really close. He could have made it maybe another inch or two, but not quite enough. And he does get another hit on Kate. He is just getting hit after hit after hit. And these survivors are really struggling to counterplay against this Blight right now.
Now, if Spirit did this would be great. I mean, Spirit's got just as much potential to close these chases as much as this Blight does, and it's just not. I don't know why the Spirit didn't close it out nearly as much, but this Blight is getting work done, regardless, catching a lot of survivors off guard.
That was a really nice dead hard. She was able to get that distance she needed, trying to keep her way around that, but it doesn't work, and she goes down early again. Second hook, sorry, for Kate. I thought that was somebody else for a second. I'm reading the screen. I'm still not used to the new layout of the, survivors. The new UI. I'm still getting used to it.
Getting a lot of value. Yeah, he's getting a lot of value
tons of value.
These trees.
He's already
those
at,
corners. It doesn't matter.
What is it, 7 hooks right now? Jesus, he's doing fantastic. He's already way outscored Siphon's killer from the last game with Spirit. And I think Blight is going to continue chase with the Kate. And she does go down inside the Killer Shack.
Got a really good setup off that side wall there.
Second hook as well.
He's got him.
Everybody is on death hook right now. Everybody.
They got 2 generators remaining. If they can get the work done quickly, spread the work between the 3 of them, they could get out of here quickly. All of them still injured, not taking the time to heal. I mean, they're gonna. That's rough with Ace jumping on new.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they should reset. At least try to get a couple heals in, and then try to take chase with one who they think is the better chaser. Comms need to be on point for this kind of thing. She does that hard forward, does bait out the hit, and gets the pallets done. Really well played there. Is it going to be enough, though? Is he going to be able to catch up?
I don't think the pallet stun was a good idea. He could have taken just the regular stun and kept the loop going a little longer.
Maybe. I mean, we can see she is dead now, so you might be 100% right about that. And now, dead on hook. Nancy out of the picture. 2 gens still remaining. And now they're going for the unhook just now. Getting Fang down already. Pain 05 going to be on 3rd hook as well. He's going to take it right now. Not even going to bother chasing the other guy. No slugging here. No point. There's no point. This could be a 12-hook game.
I think it's going to be. This Blight has shown his dominance on this team. They were not prepared for the tree bounce, and they definitely got it. I'm assuming one's maybe going to hide out for the hatch. No, it won't spawn till one more gen's done. Oh, there's the gen.
Ooh, they
So
got
now
one.
the hatch is available, so one can be done now, and they can find the hatch and play out either like if they want to make sure that one of them dies and the other makes the hatch.
Right.
All possibilities.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what we're going to see. We've seen a lot of that where they'll try to find hatch and then one of them will die and do the hatch play, like a hatch tech kind of thing. And that's probably exactly what we're going to see. That's if they can find it, though, before Blight does. Because if Blight finds it first, he might just camp the area. Who knows? And I don't think he has a strong 3-gen. Maybe. I can't really tell. I haven't gotten a good look at it. I see one over there. Now chasing the ace around this jungle gym. Not quite able to capitalize. Gets a little bit stuck on some of the items. On the objects, rather. Obstacles. You know, he does have a pretty good 3-gen over there.
I see two. Where's the third?
It's to the right of that one. Yeah, there he goes. There we go. Thank you for turning, Blight. Appreciate it.
Really good. That's wonderful. I honestly think that they should probably strategize for a hatch escape if they want to salvage whatever they've got. They aren't taking the time to heal each other. They're not really taking the time to extend chase as much as possible, especially with that dead hard save earlier.
Right.
It just doesn't seem like these survivors were prepared for what was to come.
Ooh. That was actually a pretty good juke until that moment just happened. Not quite able to work, though. He is going to go for the 4-man slug, unfortunately, as well. I really am disappointed that they have not taken the time to heal. He even has a full med kit that he could be using to heal up. I know that you don't want to heal yourself, ideally, but, I mean, at this point, why not?
Wait, with the styptic, can't it? Doesn't it remove doesn't it remove enough stacks that you can't fully heal yourself with that med kit? And that's game right there.
Yeah,
and
that's
don't
game.
even
He's
have
done.
to see how this goes. It's over. Ace did a good job juking before a round, but I don't think he has this.
Ooh, that was pretty good, though.
Was beautiful.
That was really well done. He didn't even need to drop the pallet. Very well played. And a nice slow vault, but it's enough to get away from the Blight, just barely getting out of sight. And then he's kind of all over the place.
This could be it. You might want to go save your ally while you can. Get two people up.
Yes.
You're leaving-
Ace is doing exactly
no.
what I would expect to see, which is when you're kind of being chased like that, just don't be predictable. Don't run in straight lines like you were saying, exactly. And just go this way, go that way. Make it confusing, but try to keep to safe areas. And that's exactly what he did. And he got away from the chase. Really well done. However, he's back in chase again.
Chase back up. I'm not sure why he didn't go for Kate. Maybe it was too obvious. Seems that Blight's having a rough time getting around these objects. And that's what it's all about. You've just got to confuse the killer, and he can run in straight lines. He can curve just a little, but it's not going to be a 180 turn from the hillbilly, for example. So now he's going to bounce back inwards and turn just a bit to get you.
If there was ever a time, I mean, look at that. Styptic agent and a full med kit. If there was ever a time to do something, that would have been it.
That was it.
And unfortunately, dead on hook as well. I guess Kate's just kind of hoping that Blight doesn't find her. I don't really know. Unless she has adrenaline, she's done for. I heard the hatch open right by him. I heard that.
Over.
And he knows exactly where she is. He's not struggling at all. He's got this in the bag. 12-hook game by FPS. Fantastic.
Showing pure dominance in this one.
Yeah.
I really hoped a bit more from the survivors themselves. Not saying the Blight didn't do good. The Blight got some very good around the corner hits, was on point with a lot of his dashes, but there were also a lot of times the survivors could have avoided the hit. There was a lot of times that they made questionable decisions. And, if you're going to be chased, you have to be worth your salt, and you have to be able to extend that chase as long as possible, which that was not the case with half of these chases.
And the build we saw was Pop Goes the Weasel, Mindbreaker, Corrupt Intervention, and Thrilling Tremors, which I haven't seen Thrilling Tremors used a lot, but it's a pretty good tracking perk. Decent.
So with this build, it's a lot better in terms of how it uses its regression. It's not 4 perks for regression. It's one that can be used consistently. Pop goes the weasel. Perfect. And then it synergizes well with Mindbreaker, and it's synergizing well with Corrupt Intervention and Thrilling Tremors. That's what I meant to call it. And with that, you're able to not only find the generators that need to be hit, but you're able to find survivors as well. So he's not just focused on the regression. He has regression in his build, but he's also utilizing a tracking so he can find his opponents and then obliterate them, which they were not ready for.
Yes, and he did a really good job, and we're going to take a quick look at this post-game review and be right back with some highlights. Stay tuned. Okay, folks, we've been watching Week 4 matchups, conference rivals Siphon versus Flops, and Flops is dominating the show today, keeping it down. That score is amazing so far. Let's see, we saw 4 gens get done this round. Not quite enough for it, but a 0 escape too. Not even able to get Hatch at the end, unfortunately. And 12 hooks. Phenomenal showing by this killer with an absolute dominating 4K. Well played by Flops. And that's going to have Flops, of course, leading 31-9 going into trial number 4 as well. They're going to be leading for the full score. That's a massive score they have right now as we look at the final score, as we're sitting at the current score. Sorry. Here's some highlights. We're going to look at some highlights. Guys, take it over from here. I got a little bit mind confused. My mind broke from the Mindbreaker.
So one thing I will say is that at the end, why they weren't resetting with that medkit, they didn't have any charges left. They healed twice already.
I was thinking that too. That looked like it was pretty empty.
Yeah, they had been chased so many times and healed up so many times and then re-chased so many times. Yeah, but no, 100%. If they had reset, they could have come back from this, and they never reset, and I do not understand why.
Another thing is, I've noticed that these teams aren't assigning people certain builds to help with resets. For example, I would definitely be running either someone with Botany and or even Autodidact. That's a joke of a perk, but when you've got to heal 3 people really fast to get yourself back in the game, Autodidact's one of those ones that can get you healed in seconds. And, you know, having diverse opportunities. But another play right here, one of those things that didn't make sense, and I just think I saw her dead hard into the open. If she had just hugged that car and turned that corner, he couldn't have gotten her. And it's just one of those things. Is I don't know if that was a dead hard that put her into the open, but you know, that could have been nerves or anything. And now here was another problem with Blight, that he got caught, but then Ace ran in a straight line. And unfortunately, he could have actually ran around the tree that the Blight was going to bounce off of. It's kind of funny to think that Blight is literally geometry. If you can understand what he's going to bounce off of to get to you, then you know exactly what to hide behind. And that's important. But as a survivor, if you're not accounting for that, Blight's gonna definitely get you. Blight's a very interesting character, and like for example, right there, just standing in the boxes, it was very clear he was gonna reach around there. So continue your run, but get through that window. Down under the pallet, I've yet to see any pallet plays. Survivors aren't being as altruistic as I'd like to see, but then again, maybe they have a strategy to get the gens done. But then they didn't get the gens done. So,
no, yeah, for sure. It was really good play on the Blight's part, taking advantage of things, but also the survivors. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they haven't played against Blight that much before. I don't know, but I don't know. Anyway, are we ready for the next game? Is the next game loading up yet? Or it is, and it looks like we're running it back. Same team and same killer. If they take Blight again, I'm going to laugh. I can't imagine what they take here. And we are ready to load in as well. Let's roll the next rules clip.
All right, folks, we're looking at how the survivors side earns their points, and let's look at all their objective score points, counting down from 5 generators. 5 and 4 are worth 1 point each, 3 and 2 gens are worth 2 points each, and 1 is worth 3 points. 1 escape is worth 1 point, 2 escapes is worth 2 points, 3rd escape is worth 4 points, and the 4th escape a total of 5 points. Every 16,000 scored is worth 1 point. First to hatch also gets 1 point. Survivor penalties: bringing banned or limited items, perks, or add-ons is minus 10 points. Changing build after reset is also minus 10 points. And starting with the wrong skin or avatar or a non-listed roster player is minus 5 points as well. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the Survivor side earns 0 points. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying today's show. I'm having a great time. Siphon is really struggling, though. Flops is doing a fantastic job in this Week 4 matchup with these conference rivals. Yeah, I had to say all of it because Sam would have killed me otherwise. Anyway, we are here. We're getting in right now. It's loading in. We're almost in. And we're just waiting on the game to give us the go-ahead. But what killer would you bring on a map like this, Tide? Because they brought a doctor. Doctor. Give me the news.
Well, so Doctor's not a high tier killer in my books. Never has been. He's been the killer that you run to learn to track, and that's it. And his add-ons can be good, and there's the impossible skill check build and whatnot. But as a survivor, impossible skill checks should be extremely easy for you. And then calling out the Doctor's shock so you don't get caught out and your loop denied is a play on you as a survivor. So I expect this to go down worse than Spirit. If he gets more kills than the Spirit, I question why they picked Spirit in the first place.
Well, I don't know, because, I mean, already we know that Doctor is an anti-loop killer. I mean, that's obvious. He's just anti-loop. That's what he does. And you're right, he's not a super strong killer. But these survivors struggled against Blight, and I don't know if they're going to do that well. They already got 2 hits done, and maybe they'll get a couple downs here in a second. We'll see. They already have almost finished a gen as well, and Fang, I think, is getting screamed at. Yeah, she keeps getting electrocuted and does go down. Unfortunately, not able to get to the window. 1 gen finishing as well. Yes.
She got shocked while running to that window, so she wasn't able to jump through, which I'm kind of curious what the wait for that was.
That is unfortunate. But that's just how it goes sometimes. And Doctor is retargeting over to Nancy, who is working her way into the coal tower, while Ace finishes his generator. 2 generators done, 3 remaining. These survivors are now doing a little better than they were last game. I think that's not too shabby. None too shabby. Dropping that pallet really early. I mean, I guess because it's a Doctor, but really, I don't know.
They should have learned.
Think?
He's running the extended line build, so his accuracy at a distance is a little lower than when using the cone build. This for a straight line like that drop there is fantastic. But when he's not able to see you, stand in an area that you normally wouldn't stand. Don't prepare for this kind of stuff. And if you're going to drop pallets early, take windows. You need these pallets for the late game, unless you're going to rush those generators, which they've already got 2 and they're doing A-okay. It seems like he's running ruin because those generators are regressing. I didn't see him regress it himself, but they should get plenty of space here.
I have to imagine that maybe Kate or Nancy, maybe it was, dropped that pallet early because she was panicking, perhaps, and maybe wasn't looking behind her. Maybe that's what it was. That happens a lot for some of these survivors. And a nice mind game by the Doctor. However, Ace jumps back through into the TNL. Very nice play by Ace. Again, Ace being probably the better looper on this squad at the moment. Does another one there, but unfortunately the Doctor does capitalize on a hit, and Ace is going to have to run away. He doesn't get very far, though, only getting to the next loop of the TNL, taking his Styptic Agent very quick. Last-minute ditch effort, probably realizing, hey, I didn't use it last match. I'm going to go ahead and use it now. And they're finishing another gen. 3 gens done now, and only 1 hook for the Doctor. I think he might be right. Doctor's going to struggle like Spirit did.
The reason is because, like I said, you said he's an anti-loop killer. However, that's not particularly true. He does sometimes force the pallet early, but his power slows him down to get the charge. It actually extends the loop if you know how to play against a Doctor. And again, this comes to whether the survivors do it or not. If the Doctor is playing well, this Doctor is using the railgun, the long-range one, which is a fantastic way for him to control generators with a combination of ruin. But, like, if, for example, here, he's not going to be able to stop her from getting to the pallet because he slowed himself down to shock her, and she dropped the pallet anyways, even though he wasn't in range. she should have just kept running and she'd still have the pallet.
Right.
That's the kind of thing you have to understand about Doctor. And if you don't understand that, you're going to drop the pallet early, you're going to go down right after that. You do not have to drop the pallet just because you got shocked. You can extend the loop one more time when you get shocked, and the Doctor's on the opposite side of a safe loop.
That makes a lot of sense, and I never thought about that. I don't do well against Doctor typically, but yeah, I mean they're not doing too well either. But I mean they're getting gens done, so I can't be too much beating up on them, you know. But Ace does go down. Unfortunately, that's a two-man slug at the moment. He's going to go for the hook on the Ace, as Fang is going to go in for the save. I do love that they scream on the ground. That's still my favorite thing about Doctor. When they're slugged, they just keep screaming. It's so cute. Anyway, she does get up off the ground. Doctor's now going to retarget. Probably going to go in for the Fang, it seems. Wait, is that a Fang? No, that's Nancy. Sorry.
Nancy,
I think she did drop it early. Yeah, she dropped that way early. And they do get all the generators done. And I think I also saw an adrenaline play as Ace takes the hit early. He hit that way too early. A little bit impatient from our Doctor.
I think he was going for the reach round, and it auto-targeted into Ace because he was finally off the hook, but still
Very
invincible.
well.
So,
Yeah.
unfortunately for the Doctor, he got boned. And chasing your own ally off the door handle, not
Unfortunate.
the best idea.
Not great. No, I think a little bit of miscommunication there.
But if you didn't see, a survivor was sneaking right behind the Doctor back onto the door. They actually will get the door. He could probably briefly stun it. It was Ace the whole time. They're going to get another door open. They're waiting for, I believe, a possible Blood Warden.
And no, I actually didn't see that. Unfortunately, I missed that.
Well, the door's not open. They got it to 99. And so
Yeah.
one reason you would not open that door is because if you have an ally down and you open a door, Blood Warden activates, and you don't want that.
Right.
You would rather your ally get hooked first, open doors, then go for save. But are they
would
going
be surprised.
to make that save?
I would be surprised to see a Blood Warden. But that is a good point. It's just being cautious, and they are getting the other gate 99 as well. I think maybe they're not opening it until they maybe go in for the save. Maybe they're getting a little bit ballsy.
I've yet to see a borrowed time play, and I'm waiting on it. Doctor, it's all on now. I mean, if all 4 survivors were healed, which one needs to be picked up, that needs to be reset immediately, then all 3 of them go in for the save, and you could easily coordinate that out.
And that's exactly what we see them doing. All 3 of them trying to line up in for the save. Nancy kind of hanging out behind the Doctor. Doctor not capitalizing on that, and she does get in close. So does Kate. We see Ace as well. And she does get a grab on Nancy. Or Kate, I think it was, actually. They look the same. It's the same. Anyway, Nancy does get the unhook. Very nicely played. And Fang may or may not have borrowed time. And then Nancy is going to get downed as well. Possibly he could get around here. Ace isn't able to save her. Unfortunately,
no.
She does get down right at the exit gate. He's going to force the survivors out so he can get his last-minute hooks.
I see. So a little bit of a question went on here. They definitely should have worked on that save. That was the safest save they could have made. 2 people behind the person actually making the save. Doctor wasn't going to risk hitting anybody. They were all safe, but they didn't, and they rushed it. They got grabbed, and then they got down. Are they not running borrowed time for this? Doctor did way better than Spirit, so that's good because this Doctor committed to more chases, and this Doctor was. As a killer player, it seems that this Doctor was covering his own weaknesses. If this was the Spirit player, he's covering his own weaknesses, having better tracking, and having a better kind of long-range pressure that Spirit doesn't provide, which is good. But in this case here, unfortunate. Wait, she had to snipe it? Did she not use that?
She had Deliverance. She just Deliverance herself off the hook. She's crawling to the exit, and I'm pretty sure, though I cannot confirm, she's running Decisive Strike. And
Where's
that's
that
what she's
tenacity
using to get
when we
away.
need it?
Tenacity would have been nice. Can she make it? Does she have the time?
It shouldn't take 60 seconds to crawl this. Then again, did someone get the watch out? Let's
Oh no. Oh no.
I feel he can see it. He's gonna go for the grab at the last second, and she's not gonna have it. She didn't have it, did she? Oh, no.
Nope.
It just run out?
It was like a millisecond out. It was so close. She would have got, if he had picked her up just a second, like a half a second sooner, it would have been perfect. He must have been timing that in his head the whole time.
That's solid. I think they fed an extra kill. They shouldn't have. A sloppy save. And if you're gonna go for these saves, you definitely need to have somebody built for these saves. Deliverance, a fancy play, but kind of sucks they didn't get it out.
I know they had the other door 99. Did they open the other door?
Yeah, I think so. Let me ask Kevin if he saw it. We might need to confirm that with the production team. Anyway, while they're doing that, we have Corrupt Intervention, I think? No, Thrilling Tremors. Okay, yeah, there's Corrupt Intervention as well. Thrilling Tremors, Pop Goes the Weasel, Corrupt Intervention, and Save the Best for Last. One of my favorite perks on Hag as well.
Oh, yes. Give me
Discipline.
Save the Best for Last.
High Stimulus Electrode, yeah. So, anyway, I'll leave it to you to do some build review. Go right on ahead.
Well, this is the first time I'm looking at a build. I'm like, where's Ruin? You've got Railgun Doctor, who has a long-range ability to force people off the generator, and then they can't work on the generator if they're Tier 3 Madness. Like, this is the first time I don't see the regression build, but you put it on Spirit. What? Oh, don't get me wrong. I love the Save the Best for Last. I love what you got going here. He's got the Pop Goes the Weasel on as his regression, and that's fine. But out of all the times I've seen Ruin being played today, this was the one killer who can actually really force the value of Ruin into the game without giving the survivors a way to breathe, especially with the railgun.
Also, I just gotta say this Railgun Doctor is one of my favorite builds on Doctor of all time. It's so fun.
It's fun, but have you ever tried the ring build? That's not fun, but it's funny when it works.
Sam, are we able to confirm that the score is good and we're able to move on?
But I you know what? I never review the survivors builds. Is that camaraderie?
Yep.
What?
It's a thing.
Score's good.
You're running camaraderie. Borrow time would have saved the day there. Two people on borrowed time. Running camaraderie.
Well, they did. They have borrowed time here. They do. They got it.
Camaraderie.
While Tide loses his shit, we're gonna do a post-game review. We'll be right back.
Camaraderie.
All right, folks, we're watching Week 4 matchup. Conference rivals Siphon versus Flops, and Flops is doing really well, but Siphon did pretty good in this one as well. Here's what you witnessed. This was trial number 3 with 5 generators getting done. Really well played by the Survivor Squad, and 0 escapes. No, that's not reality. I think there was 2 escapes, if I'm not mistaken. Sam, 6 hooks, 4 kills. Yeah.
To be
16,
fair, I am
16?
not the one on the scorecard.
Who did this?
I forgot to click the escape button. It was to escape.
Did this?
You're correct. I forgot to click the escape button. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, that score is not accurate, but Flops is still leading.
I'm sorry.
There it is. Thank you. Last second saves. I've been leading in that trial. With 2-man escape. Really well done, and it was not a tie in that one. It was actually 19-16 in favor of Siphon, just barely ahead. But here are your highlights, guys. Take it away.
Hold on, I've got apology subs to gift out for that mistake. For each score sheet mistake, I must gift a sub. So that's 2 gifted subs for 2 mistakes. All right, there we go. Anyway, so I know you're surprised about camaraderie, but I've actually seen camaraderie used a lot recently among players. I'm not really sure what the idea is behind it, but I like it. I like seeing perks that you normally don't see that often.
Well, I do too, but you have to understand, when I'm questioning where certain perks are to make certain plays that should be going on to win these games, they're missing in place of things like camaraderie. And people can come up and say, oh, it's won games. I have won games as a rank 1 killer with nothing, and that doesn't make nothing good. Just because it has worked before doesn't make it top tier. It just means it worked. It has to work consistently. And it clearly didn't. They lost 2 people. Deliverance didn't work. The play didn't work out well for them.
Can I? I actually want to build on that a little bit. So, in most competitions where there's camping, camaraderie is actually genius, in my opinion. However, here, I just don't see the value in it.
Well, even in it's what, like a 16-second additional hook time? It just freezes it for 16 seconds. Am I wrong?
Max tier, I believe, is 34 seconds.
34 seconds. So, and that requires you to be within
16 meters.
16 meters. Okay, that's what it's 16. So you have to be off of a gen in the area, and you have to sit there. That's a waste of your time.
No, I think it's just if you come within the area, it's paused for that amount of time. I think it just pauses it. I think it's kind of one of those things like if you come into the area, it pauses it and you can run back.
And you can run back out. But then, so that requires the situation to be that someone was hooked right next to you, which you should be working on a generator. Again, a lot of these plays I am questioning, and a lot of people can question, oh, this is comp. This is how it's done here. I'm waiting for someone to show me the builds I expect, and let's see how that plays out. I am very excited to see someone prove me wrong.
Dude, Knockout is OP. I love that perk.
Knockout's an interesting one.
Camaraderie.
I would love this. Yeah, so it's you pause the hook for 34 seconds if you're in 16 meters of the hook. That's actually pretty close. That's within range of the killer seeing you, so you'd have to sneak up there. That should A, be wasting your time. You should be on a generator. And B, that requires you to be in range of that hook. You have to be there.
So let's say they're doing bait and switch here, obviously. So you run up like you're going to make a save, and like, oh, the killer chased me away, but the killer's not going to commit to you anyway because they're camping.
And this
that
is only
you say it takes 10 seconds to do that run by. Like that still gives you 24 seconds of time that the killer still has to sit there and it's not chasing on a gen. It might be beneficial. I have to see it work out.
Wait.
I have to see it work out.
Even the camaraderie user is the only one who benefits from camaraderie. What? So it's not even a perk that would work for every hook. It's for you when you get hooked.
Yes.
Oh. What value did they get in this game?
Probably not that much.
None at all. Like, that's what I've been questioning all this time. The times in which Ruin would provide value hasn't provided any value. I'm sitting here watching these, and show me the value. I'm waiting. I've seen pop happen like once or twice, but if you're running Pop Goes the Weasel, don't put it with frickin' Ruin. You're just taking an entire perk out of your build. Like, the doctor's running Save the Best for last and is slapping the crap out of everybody. It's fantastic. He's making plays. He's downing people quickly. He's getting value. You can see it. It's the important part is if I can't see your value in what you're using and I can't even see it happen, then where's the value? Even Decisive Strike, one of the most powerful perks in the game. It was used this game. It didn't get used because it got countered. So does it have value? Not really. It really doesn't. If you play 100 games, and out of 80 of those games, Decisive Strike did not work because the killer did not let you get it, then don't run Decisive Strike, if that makes sense.
I mean, if they're respecting the Decisive Strike, it still gets some value because that means you're not getting a hook.
Right, but the killer doesn't know you're not running it. You can run any Obsession perk in your build if you want to get the idea that, oh, hey, he might have Decisive. Killer doesn't know what you have. So just the existence of Decisive Strike makes it strong. But you don't have to run it to get the value if he's not letting you get it. If that makes sense, you should really be looking at your perks, how often they're activating, and how much they're covering your weaknesses. And if you're dying, you need to find out what you're running that actually provides you the value to prevent you from dying and getting the generators done.
I think I get where you're coming from. I don't know. Again, I don't play Survivor that often, so I can't speak that much.
Okay, let's talk about killer perks then.
Okay.
You're running Ruin and Pop Goes the Weasel, right? So let's say you got 2 hooks and Ruin is still up. How much value are you getting out of Pop Goes the Weasel? right?
Currently none.
Right, and then let's say you're running Undying with Ruin, right? So now you're protecting Ruin to keep that up with 2 perk slots. And then you have Pop Goes the Weasel. So you're using 2 perk slots to ruin you of 1 perk slot, and then they'll break your 2 totems, you lose 2 perk slots, now you're down to 2 perks. What value are you getting? Early game regression. Let me tell you about early game regression in this. Any survivor worth their salt better get the 3 freaking generators done in 80 seconds, because there's no goddamn killer in this game that is going to chase 4 survivors off the first 3 gens. Now, mid-game, sure, you can get away with something because you got 2 generators left, and that's when you should have been downing people. They have to commit some resources to go save people. That's just how the flow of the game should go. If you are not getting those generators done early and this early game exists, that's called a snowball for the killer, and you're screwed as a survivor. That's how the game works. Always hasn't changed for years. That's been the meta. I've been a part of it all. You know?
Mm-hmm. One thing I will say is that, what gen regression? Because gen regression doesn't happen anymore, but that's just because I'm salty because I never get gen regression perks that I want. I want Surge buffed, but
Surge buff would be nice. Every time I've tried to use Surge personally, and I always down survivors next to a not progress generator, and so it's like, oh, great, fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
I really would like to see these perks make significant impacts, because I'm not seeing the significant impact of some of these perks.
Oh yeah, I get you, and I get you. So whenever I've made arguments to the similar tier, my friends come back at me. It's like, oh, well, you're results-oriented thinking. I'm like, yeah, but results get the job done.
Results get the job done, and if this is meant to be competitive, if you can make anything work, I would actually refer to, I believe it's Tekken's Panda character, one of the worst characters in the game. I believe someone took worlds with that character. Worst character in the game. Someone beat everybody. So why? It's because nobody prepared for what he brought, because nobody cared about it. So whatever is high tier, low tier truly doesn't matter, but it matters how you get the value out of it.
Right, and we are going into the last trial. Let's roll the final rules video before we get into this.
Hello everyone, we're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here again with Week 4 matchups. Conference rivals Siphon versus Flops. And this is trial number 4, the last trial of the day for now. We do have another game at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to tune in for that. And we are going to be playing replays between now and the next game as well. And I heard a nurse screeching, so just so you know, it's a nurse. That's what I heard.
This is a 4K. Easy.
This is a 4K easy. Okay. It depends on how good they are at nurse, but I can't imagine they'd bring nurse if they weren't good at it.
You're in a competitive scene. This better be your best killer.
Yeah.
If it's not, you're not going to take finals.
Agreed. And that was a nice whiff. Fang not quite able to get down. And Nurse is having a little bit of a hard time on getting Fang. Whoa. And a Styptic agent play early in the game to prevent an early down as well. Nicely played by Fang.
Going for these double blinks is costly.
Yeah. I have to ask you, would you have gone for the Styptic that early, or would you have just gone for a hook?
I would have Styptic. Don't give the killer reason to snowball. The fact she's still up, extending this chase, she's got all her pallets, she's got the best mind game she can get right now, and she is using all the terrain. Nurse is actually a disadvantage without being able to see through those walls, but running into the open here and calm down. unfortunately. She lost the best cover she had. But, you know,
Yeah.
she extended that chase very well. One
She did,
generator already done, a second one
Yeah.
right around the corner. That's how it should be played.
Fantastic play. One generator done, one about to finish, and Nurse going in for hoping to prevent some generators getting done. Corrupt Intervention is still up, by the way. We are in the first 2 minutes of this game.
Now, what you want to see mostly in order for Nurse to get her best value is single blink hits. It's hard, but if you have to go for the double blinks, your exhaustions are going to take you a bit longer. So
Right.
long range, single blinks, that'll do you some justice.
Was that borrowed time?
I believe either borrowed time or a styptic, but she went
She
down,
already used her
didn't
styptic.
get the...
Yeah. It
Well, she
was.
got the
And a
decisive strike, so
DS2.
there's your value right there.
There you go.
I'll teach you to
That's how you
tunnel.
do it. Dirty tunneler. Filthy, dirty tunneler deserved it.
Pop the Hex Haunted Grounds. Nurse is currently at her most formidable. She's got 1 minute to really make this happen. And if she doesn't get it down, that she's missing out on perks left and right.
Well, she got good value out of Corrupt, getting an early down and an early hook, and maybe not going to get value out of this Haunted Ground. It's about halfway regressed now already, and she is kind of approaching getting toward the Nia, I think. So she may be able to get her. Just one hit's all it takes. And she lands it. Very nicely played. I don't think she's going to get more than that. But
She should
there you
try
go.
to, though. She should absolutely be going out and trying to. Slugging, even though this hook is going to be valuable, you've got to use that perk as much as you can. If you could get 2 downs, that's probably the best you'd get, and that'd help you get your early snowball.
Right. That would have been ideal, but she didn't go for that. Instead, going for the hook, which, I mean, you know, it is what it is. She made her choice. Instead, going now to chase for the Kate. As they get unhooked, she is going to tunnel on the Nia as well. Nia does a good job juking around the tree, avoiding getting another hit. Going for the TNL loop.
Here was the issue about that tree. She did the double blink at the tree. Nurse didn't sit there and contemplate what was going on. She just went for the double blink and she extended her exhaustion, which is
Yes.
a problem for her. She needs to calm down, lose those nerves, and try to think before you blink.
And now both DSs out of the game as well, with 3 gens remaining. Now she can just tunnel, now that both DSs are gone. And she gets the down early. That DS did nothing for her. That was like no time at all. I don't even think that was
Another
a
thing is
10-second
that-
chase.
Nurse has been giving the value to Decisive Strike on this one. It's like she doesn't really care about it, which is interesting. But as long as she's making it happen, she's got 2 more perks or generators to go, and she's unfortunately at the disadvantage with only 3 hooks right now.
Oh, and 1 generator left. This could be a rough game for this Nurse. She is definitely struggling.
Single blink hit. Beautiful, long
Nicely
range, decisive.
Very well done. And gets the down there. Double blink hit, but still able to get it. And gets the hook as well. She's going to go for that hook quickly. I think she's getting a bit nervous about this last generator getting done. Power struggle? Anybody? No? Okay.
Another staple for Nurse, definitely to keep the snowball going. Barbecue and chili, Nurse is calling, helps you track survivors that are healing nearby, and then that keeps your snowball flowing. That's typically what I see from Nurses. And you know, I'm not seeing any auras, but as long as she can keep these chases up, she might be able to hold that 1 gem.
I mean, she's not really struggling to find survivors, but you're not wrong. If she had found them a bit sooner, that she would have gotten quite a bit more hooks, I think. But, you know, currently sitting at 4 hooks. This will be hook number 5. Only the first hook for Torture. La Lucen being the only one on second hook. And that's 5 gens done. Unfortunately, I think they might actually get everyone out. Quite possibly.
It is very possible. Nurse had a rough early game, didn't get her snowball going, and it's a big map with a lot of walls. Certain maps I wouldn't want to see Nurse on, Shelter Woods, and possibly Coal Tower. Just any cover you can get is absolutely vital against Nurse.
Now, this is a tough situation for me because we see the survivors going for the exit gates. We also see Nia on the ground. She's dead on hook. She could go for that kill and at least get a confirmed kill with those 3 points that you get. And she doesn't do that. Instead, she's going for the exit gates, which may be not a bad play, but she could lose the Nia as a result of this. And that's exactly what she sees. The Nia gets right back up.
Striking the full health survivor. I don't know if she saw the injured one right next to the gate, but striking the full health one on the door was maybe not the wisest. I don't know if she saw the injured one, but right next to the side, got to pick your targets closely or carefully.
Hatch. We see Hatch. She gives her the point, says Hatch over there. Nia might be taking Hatch as Kate may be trying to take aggro to get out the gate. We'll see how they play it.
The shocking thing here is that you would see Blight close the chases far more frequently, and here we're not seeing that with Nurse, and unfortunately, they rushed her pretty hard.
Wow. And they get the 4-man escape as a result of her greed. Maybe should have just gone for that hook on the Nia and taken your 3 points, because as a result, she got no points at the end. And the build was, I know it's tiny, Corruptor Intervention, Hex Ruin, Hex Undying, Hex Haunted Ground, and we saw Fragile Wheeze and Kabanah's Last Breath. There you go.
The add-ons are choice, not against them, but again, it's the perks. You didn't play to Nurse's strength, and she played Hex Haunted Ground. She got it down. That's fantastic. You got one down, and you had no way to track anybody. You had no method of pressuring the generators. Nurse is not the fastest killer in the game. She has some of the best mobility because she could travel through things and completely ignore defenses, but she doesn't have mobility. She's slow, and having to blink to travel is slow. So trying to get the Hex, again, this is the whole thing. It just doesn't seem like it's synergizing with the strategy they went with. They want to go with Ruin and Undying. Why not do someone who can actually pressure people off the generators? Whereas someone like the Nurse might need a little bit of tracking to find the survivors.
Absolutely, and a great assessment as well. And we're going to go into highlights after this post-game review, and then we'll be doing cross-examinations. And don't forget, back here at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern tonight, don't miss it. We'll be watching another game between two another amazing teams. That was interesting grammar. Forget it. Moving on, post-game review. Here we go. So, folks, we've been watching Week 4 matchup conference rivals Siphon versus Flops, and this is your post-game review. This is trial number 4 that we just saw. Here's what you just witnessed. We saw 5 generators getting done by this Survivor squad with a full 4-man escape. Well done, Rue. And we also saw 5 hooks from the killer. Not enough, I don't think, with 0 kills. Going to be unfortunate for the killers on that one. Unfortunately, Flops 103 to Siphon's 45. Wow. And I don't know what's going on there. Flops is convicted of murder. Well done to whatever logo that was supposed to be. Oh, I know what I did there. I broke something. It doesn't matter. Anyway, here are your highlights from this game. Enjoy. Guys, take it away while we get ready for cross-examination.
So I kind of agree with what they were saying on the build. I always run Infectious Fright on Nurse. I do not. If you're going to run Haunted Ground, why was there no Infectious Fright to give you at least some inkling to give a snowball? I don't know why that was that. I don't understand the build at all, really. I don't know. Add-ons, like I said, I've played add-ons. I've played with a ton of different add-ons on Nurse. I haven't quite figured out what I like on Nurse specifically. And like they had good blinks. They had some good stuff going. It just... Nurse is tough. Nurse is a very tough killer. I do believe last time we interviewed them, they are a Nurse main. So survivors may have been giving them the good loops, I guess. I don't know.
Well, there was a lot of times that Nurse went for double blink and extended her own exhaustion, which sucks. like I said, Nurse isn't the fastest killer, and the blinks are quick in short distances, but overall in the long run, you're not going to cover the map nearly as fast as Hillbilly, Blight, anyone with mobility. It's just not what her power is for. But the reason she's so good and she's the objectively best killer in the game is she ignores all defenses. But that comes at the cost of requiring the Nurse to play at a very high level to get that result. So whether or not Nurse is going to get that or not is all up on the killer themselves. Killer here had some serious nerves, missing hits left and right, incorrect predictions, especially a loop around a tree caught her off guard and she did a double blink, which again, try to limit how much you double blink unless you can guarantee that blink hits, because you're extending your exhaustion and then you're extending your recharge time.
No, for sure. I agree. And I didn't realize, I didn't actually see that tree moment. I've been looking away at the score sheet when that happened. But yeah, that is definitely unfortunate. And what was the add-ons they were running in? Was it Kavanaugh's and... What was it?
The second one. I just remember Kavanaugh's because that was the important one.
Right. I like Kavanaugh's a lot. I think the other one probably was a Blink Recharge add-on. Is that what it was? I can't imagine them not running a Blink Recharge add-on.
You shouldn't need it. I mean, your distance is your most important tool as Nurse, because like I said, it doesn't go that far, especially at base. So when you extend that distance, it makes your travel instantaneous, and it makes it hard to see coming, but it comes at the cost of every time you blink, you're exhausted, it blurs your vision, and it takes a lot from a player to maintain tracking a survivor through extended exhaustions. Which is why, like, multiple blink Nurse is not a popular use, because the third blink's shorter, the exhaustion is longer, the recharge is longer, everything's rough with that.
So it's... Yeah, I saw Lusty. I was seeing if anybody's waiting for Siphon, because we were trying to see if Siphon will come in first, but I guess if no one from Siphon's going to show up, we can go ahead and interview Flops then. So, yeah.
Which one was Flops?
Flops was the winner.
What killer?
Oh, what killer was Flops? Oh, let's see. Flops was the Blight and the Doctor, if I remember correctly.
Blight and Doctor.
Yes, both played by Heavenly. So it was played a Heavenly Blight.
What's up?
So the Blight player wasn't this. The Blight player wasn't the Nurse player?
No.
So it was Blight then Doctor, and then okay.
Yeah.
Still learning faces.
Heavenly played both Blight and Doctor. So you guys played really well against that Spirit match. Do you guys play against a lot of Spirits?
Yeah, we actually have. We've been practicing a lot. We've been scrimming like non-stop like the past week. So yeah.
Okay. Well, it definitely showed. You guys did some really good stuff against Spirit, just constantly mind-gaming them. They got held to what, 2 hooks, I think, on Spirit? Was that correct?
3, I thought.
Oof. Yeah, you guys put some work on that Spirit. Well played. And then the Doctor pick, was that kind of just a throwaway pick?
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah, it was burn. It was just a burn.
Just a burn? Okay, fair enough. Still, really good job on the Doctor. Does Heavenly have free reign when it comes to picking killers? Do you guys coordinate a bit, or is it just Heavenly do your thing?
We kind of just pick killers based on maps and teams, and honestly, this was a big map. I wanted to start off strong as like his Blight, because he's scrimmed against some really good teams lately, and he's been outperforming with his Blight. So I'm like, you know what? I've seen other teams as well, so I'm trying to save a lot of killers for some other good teams. So I didn't want to pick like Spirit or Nurse or anything like that, because I'm just saving them. we're just saving those killers. And then so he started with Blight, and he did really, really good, and we're proud of him.
For sure, that was a very enjoyable Blight match to watch. Again, I play a lot of Blight, so anytime I see Blight just go wreck like that, it's very enjoyable. So, what else was there? So you played the Doctor, played Blight, and then whom? What? Oh, Siphon. Oh, Siphon is here. Okay. Well, I guess just if you want to stick around for a little bit, we're going to talk to Spider then, and then we can have you guys talk a little bit afterwards. And Spider, are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Are they? Oh, okay. There you are. Hi. How's it going?
Doing relatively well.
Yeah, you guys. That Blight game. Did you guys play a lot against Blight? Did you guys practice a lot against Blight, or because we saw you run like a lot of the times? I think Tide was pointing it out. You guys were running kind of out in the open or in straight lines sometimes.
Honestly, what I have to say for that, our RNG on that Cold Tower map was really bad. We had a lot of open spots, and a lot of places where Blight could easily just counter the loops. That's what I thought what's happened. Or that, yeah, with that too, we also haven't practiced a lot against, at least good Blights, because the Blight was definitely good.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely knew what he's doing. But yeah, we just haven't practiced much, and I feel like we got really bad RNG that match, so it's just quite unlucky.
Based on what I saw on a couple of plays, I wouldn't blame the RNG on half of those downs. A lot of it was really out in the open. For example, if you watch now, you'll see that I believe that is Kate or Nancy. Survivor ran into the open. I don't know if she dead hard, whether that was
dead hard.
nerves. But there was one that was such a poorly timed dead hard that put her right in the open and put her into the down. That sucked. Ace running in a straight line and against the wall. Ace running in a straight line, beelining down a straight path into a pallet. I wouldn't blame the RNG on those parts, so I would highly recommend review those moments and see how the Blight was using you to bounce off nearby areas and how you can easily detect what he's going to bounce off of. That way you can actually hide behind the object he's trying to get momentum off of.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that we need to work on chases with Blight. Yeah, I didn't mean for RNG to completely take over that statement. I meant just saying sometimes it was just nothing we could do because it's out in the open. Like, there's a gen that's next to Shaq, as you see in the clip as I got hit. It was just out in the open. We tried to get it done, but he kept protecting it really well. And that's what caused me to get down right there. It's just, I'm not too good with Blight chases, especially on LNT walls, because I usually don't face good Blights. So it was just really bad.
That's fair. I'm not particularly good with Blight yet on the LT wall situation because there's this. I don't know the optimal bouncing for it, so that's for sure. I'd usually just revert to being a 115 killer in those situations.
Yeah.
Anyway, aside from that, what are you guys looking to take away from these games and, work on for your next week's match?
Honestly, we just need to work on motivation. I feel like after that first killer match, Complex did play well. It just didn't seem like he was, I think he was just quite nervous, or something got into him because something didn't go right. But motivation is what we need to work on. And I would say maybe killer match, go against Blights, maybe scrim some teams that are good with Blight, or just have my friend practice it. And just overall try to get better at Blight chases, I would feel.
Fair enough. And I believe this is going to be your guys' map for the foreseeable future until the maps get fixed, correct?
I think so, yeah. It kind of sucks we can't have our home map, because that's what we usually do extremely well on, but step by day.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, it is supposed to be the most balanced map, so hopefully you guys will, adapt to it easily enough, both your killers and survivors. So good luck to that. And
thank you.
Well, I guess with that aside, do you guys have anything you want to say to each other after that match?
GG's, man.
Yeah, GG's. You guys played well.
Yeah. You guys did well too, honestly. But we both need practice, so.
I definitely felt my comeback spirit after that doctor match, but right as you insta picked me up, I was like, fuck. I was like, my butt was so fucking clenched, dude. I was like, is he gonna pick it up in time? Is he gonna pick early? And
yeah,
like,
same with, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, like, you like perfectly timed it. It was like, holy shit.
No. Yeah, like us going against Kopi's nurse, I thought we were gonna have a hard time, honestly, because like we've seen his nurse. We scrimmed against it before that game that he played, and like we did well against him, but I thought he was gonna get like I guess improve because against a team that he played against last week, I think he did really well, and then when we played him this game, I thought he was gonna like pop off as well, but I guess he didn't. But
Yeah, I guess we were down in the dumps after those matches. It was just an unlucky day for us. And I must say, like, this patch isn't so great for survivors, especially on console. I'm gonna just say that it's super clunky on controller. But that's just me complaining. Not much I can do.
Don't worry, they're reverting quite a bit, so you might
I know, I was so
see a
happy when
hot
they...
fix.
I'm
so happy when
actually
I saw
more
that.
worried for a hot fix than what is currently in state, but that's just me.
We just gotta hope.
Right? Just gotta hope. I feel that. Well, with that out of the way, do you guys have anything you want to say to the chat before we head out for the evening?
Yeah, camaraderie sucks.
Oh. I prefer not to comment.
Okay, and then I expect to see some deja vu in my future. 'Cause if we're getting into the low tiers, I'm all for this. I want some autodidact. I want some deja vu's, dark senses, and we'll see you all next time.
Wait, real
Right.
quick. I just want to say, y'all are welcome to disagree with him. Y'all don't
bring-
have to
Fight
agree
me.
with anything everyone says. Just throwing that out there.
I know, I'd just rather not start a fight.
No fights would be started. No fights would be started.
Actually, okay, can we... So we have the Poggard high five. Can we get the Roo-Tide, like, combat?
just
Like,
doesn't
where we
sound
just,
right.
go hand in hand, just start, like, punching
That's
at
too
each
close
other?
to Roll Tide. I'm not down with that. LSU fan over here. Not rolling that way. All puns
LSU
intended.
fan, it's Alabama that's Roll Tide. Bite your tongue,
Exactly.
heathen.
Exactly.
Anyway. Oh, goodness. This is going crazy. Anyway, Spider, Lusty, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great evening. And come back for the 10 o'clock match, unless you guys are practicing.
yeah, you were most
Alright.
likely. Well, that's us. We're always practicing. So
Mood.
yeah.
Mood. But yeah, thank you guys for coming in.
Mhm.
And
We love
With-
you, Poggy.
Thanks.
keep your hands off my man. I mean,
Whoa.
anyway. With that said, hey, have you guys checked out the merch store yet? We got vigoscourt.tv/merch. Get your own shirt, rep your own team. You saw Flops and Siphon tonight. We got shirts and stickers representing them. Support them, support us. And anyway, shameless plug aside. I'm sorry, I'm really happy I got a new shirt. You can't at me. Anyway, we got another game coming up at 10 o'clock tonight. You don't want to miss it. We're gonna pause the stream, or are we cutting out for? I didn't actually get a
We're going
confirmation
to be
on that.
pausing with stream, yes.
We're
We'll be
gonna
playing
be pausing?
replays.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So stay tuned for the next match coming up in a couple of hours. I have been your Judge Little Rugard. This has been your other judge, Tide Time, and with Special Counselor Poggy. We will see you back here in just a bit. Stay tuned. Have a great evening.
So before the first gen even pops,
Make you wanna know my name.
trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Freaky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.
right,
doesn't
well, we
matter
should
what
be
I said,
loading in
guys.
soon.
Poggy's here. Poggy's going to be doing some commentary with Tide. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway. Yeah, this is Siphon versus FPS, guys. Thank you so much for waiting, for your patience while we got through these technical issues, and we're about to be in the game right now. Hope you're having a great day. I am. This is a fantastic... What day is it? Thursday. Wednesday. I don't know what day it is. Oh boy. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves some people, some players. Let's take a look at what we have going. First thing I see is a spirit.
Indeed.
I mean...
Wait, what? Is that a Psy weapon?
I think... Was it? I have to look at it again.
Like
I actually didn't notice. Let me look at that one more time once we switch back to Nia, who's currently in chase around one of the jungle gyms and doing really good, actually, getting away from Spirit. Possibly running Iron Will, because I don't hear her crying. Nice dead hard, though. Very nice. Used it for distance, got to the window just in time. Very well done. And then gets to another safe place and gets abandoned. The killer does not continue that chase.
Killer's likely running Ruin.
Very, very likely.
Trying to get this. Trying to get Survivor off the generator to get some value there. But if the Nia returned to that generator, kind of cancels it out. Second Spirit game
And...
of... Go ahead.
I didn't know what she was doing. All right, she was phasing, and then she did kind of find Kate, but then got a little bit out of place, not quite able to catch up to her immediately. And a Styptic agent play by the Kate. I think Spirit caught it and is waiting it out. She does take the hit at the window and does give her the Styptic play. Yeah, we're not able to do it, unfortunately. She was trying to wait it out, though, and that was really good. Does get around the corner. Very nice play by the Spirit around the jungle gym. I think this is a TNL loop she's at, too. Survivors are working on generators. We got one generator completed already. Going for a basement hook, I think. And again, Spirit is one of those killers that just for some reason never has hair when we spectate. I don't know what the dealio is with that.
I thought I saw her with hair, like, moments ago.
It comes and goes.
She's like dropped her wig midway.
It's really weird. So I know you like Spirit, Ty, because you were talking about it yesterday a lot. Like, why didn't you bring Spirit? And I'm wondering, like, if you have any thoughts on what you've seen so far.
Spirit's playing generally how I would expect. Survivor's making a lot of risky plays, going for the totems. Not exactly sure what the Survivor's play with this is, because again, like Spirit likely phasing here and then looking for her while she's injured. Should be a free down on her part unless Spirit for some reason just let her go or lost her. Oh, let her go chasing somebody else. She went back to the
yeah. And I know you can't hear the game, so I will just tell you, I'm pretty sure Iron Will again on the whoever that was, the nurse girl, because I couldn't hear her. So she has Iron Will. This one.
So if she has Iron Will, part of the counterplay with that is to run Strider, which is why Spirits run Strider in the first place. At least in the more casual area, you use Strider because it does the same effect as Iron Will. It makes it equal when you're running, so it's as if they weren't running Iron Will. And then for the people who are not running Iron Will, are a far easier target for you.
And we do see the Spirit kind of lining up for the chase around this majorly rocky area, going for this jungle gym, and then she gets abandoned again. So I guess Spirit's just having trouble committing right now. These survivors are giving her a run for her money for sure. Only having one hook so far with 2 gens completed. Survivors are a little bit ahead.
I don't know if Spirit's trying to capitalize on Ruin and trying really hard, but there are 4 survivors in play. And actually, she's definitely not getting the value she should be, but as you can see, she's trying to chase them off the generators. It's just not working the way it should, because every time she chases them off, they go right back. And this is probably one of the best examples I've ever made when it comes to you can only chase one person at a time, she needs to commit and start downing people. At least get the slug going,
Yes.
or else she's never going to be able to slow these generators down.
Absolutely, but it's worth pointing out these survivors got ruined down really fast, actually. So it's actually been down, I think, since the last gen. Because I just noticed when you were talking about that generator was not regressing when they left it. So its ruin's gone for sure. She might actually get this hit there on Nia, maybe. Ooh! Oh God, Nia, no! Oh no! She almost got away. I thought she was going to go for the window, but then she went straight through the door, and that was just unfortunate. And maybe another basement hook? No, skipping basement, going for the... Ooh, this is a tough hook right here. It's pretty easy to defend this hook, IMO. Unless you have balanced landing, and then it can be a little trickier.
I think one of the issues with that hook, though, is though she can defend people going towards it, herself getting up there, she has to go around.
That's true.
There's a lot of mind game to play there, and it's rough. I think basement's the better play in terms of
I would
it's
agree,
one path in, one path out.
Mm-hmm. Basement probably would have been the better choice. She had the choice. She went for the pedestal hook, I guess you can call it, and unfortunately, may not work out for her. We'll see how she plays it. If she defends it at all. Maybe she didn't intend to defend it, so she didn't want to go for the long play in basement. That could be it, too. Now, chasing Kate around this jungle gym, going for no mind game there. I thought she might have gone for a mind game.
She's got a double pallet set up right here.
Yeah, she does.
Yep.
Very nice pallet stun as well.
With that double
And
pallet, it's
all
almost
5
safe,
gens
and
done.
the exits are done. So this is what I mean by, in terms of running Ruin, you could have ran something else to help you during all these chases. You weren't securing any of the downs. You didn't slow the game down any. And it's definitely going to fall apart from here on out.
Yeah, she really just struggled a big time. And then Hex Rune Undying went down so fast that she wasn't really able to capitalize on it anyway. She does get it down on Nia, though, right at the exit gate. May be able to get her up and to a hook, which is at least a kill at a minimum, unless they get the unhook. Oh, but a D. Yes, she was just unhooked, wasn't she?
D strike.
Oh, unfortunate. 50-50 chance, and it was her.
Ladies and gentlemen, let this be the perfect example why you never tunnel as killer. Because clearly she was tunneling, focused at pouring it down, man. Oh, it was a rough life for her.
Wow. Well, these survivors definitely gave her a tough time, but the scores, the BP points, obviously are not quite that far off, surprisingly. I thought they would have been a little further apart. But maybe just because of the couple of hooks that she did get, she was able to get some BP. But anyway, her build was Hex Ruin, Crypt Intervention, Hex Undying, and Pop Goes the Weasel. I'm going to let you guys do a little back and forth on what you think of that build.
I've been seeing this build pop up for almost every game we've commentated so far, and I have seen it fail every time so far. So I'm starting to wonder, is this really the competitive build? And maybe people need to start branching out. Obviously, Ruin, it's like the value on Ruin isn't going to be there unless the survivors let it happen. You're only going to get the regression if the survivors let go, and you have to keep them off. The gens regress at about half the speed that the survivors, can progress. So you have to keep them off for twice the amount of time that they were on it to get it to 0. And depends on how long if you caught them on it, like as they were just starting it, you're going to regress it just a little bit. Like a couple seconds isn't going to be the biggest deal. You need to be able to down people. You need to be able to get the hooks. And if you don't, well, this is your result. So here's your competition. Right. So it's going to be the person who can close these chases out versus the person who thinks that slowing the game down a little bit is going to help.
And that is a very excellent point. And with that in mind, we're going to do a post-game review, come right back and look at some highlights while we wait for the next game, and be right back. Hold your hats. Hold on to your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Week 4 matchups with conference rivals Siphon versus Flops. And a tough opening match for this killer. A great opening match for Flops, though. And let's take a look at that post-game review. This is what you just witnessed. Trial number 1, we saw 5 generators getting done with how many escapes? Yeah, all 4 of them. All 4 people got out, unfortunately. It was very close. to maybe getting one extra hook, but only, unfortunately, 2 hooks for the killer with no kills. So sadly, this is the result of the first game, but they could still come back from it. It is not a lost game for these guys. Let's see how they do. 5-28 in favor of Flops going into trial number 2. Flops leading at the moment, and we'll see how they do in the next game as Siphon will be surviving and Flops will be killing. Guys, here we're watching we're watching week 4 matchup conference rivals Siphon versus Flops. I love their name. It's really such a cute name. We're loading in. We're almost fully loaded in. It's not quite as fast as the other one because the other guys I think were mostly PC players, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna be switching in just a moment to the game, but I don't want you all to look at boring loading screen, so we'll just sit here for a second. Anyway, so far it's been a really interesting matchup because the Spirit really struggled. However, Siphon's Survivor team isn't very bad, so maybe they can pull out ahead of Flops Killer. Let's see how they do. And yeah, we're loaded in now for sure. This time we have a Blight. Tide? I kind of want to hear your thoughts on seeing a Blight.
Well, let's see. I'm waiting to be impressed. Spirit didn't impress me. This Blight better do better. And I hope his build is also the exact same regression build. We better see some Pop Goes the Weasel and Generator regression.
I mean, he does get an early hit on Nancy. Very nice play. But like you said yesterday, I mean, just the return on Blight is not as good as the skill you need to play with him. But I mean, he's doing pretty well. Got a nice early down with Lethal Rush, and the survivors are only just now starting on gens, really. So that'll be a
So why did she run out into the open?
That I wouldn't be able to explain. That I can't tell you. But I can tell you that he got an early down.
He definitely did.
You have a good point. And Fang also taking a nice early hit as well. Pain 05 is feeling it. And Blight is possibly using Pop Goes the Weasel to